So I'll have everyone share out one goal that you have, and then I'll go into our state of personal power meditation exercise. And because I want you to be able to hold on to some of those goals. So a goal that you have for the next 30 days. Anisha? And let me make sure everybody, is Dana and Misty, are you guys back? And Baina, are you guys back? Awesome, cool. All right, Anisha?
I started looking into this last week when you pointed it out, but one goal is to purchase malpractice insurance. If I'm doing like, you talked about if you're doing speaking or that kind of stuff. So that's one of mine.
Right. Jashawn?
Yes. I'm going to identify a business accountant and confer with an attorney. Because I'm thinking about kind of like establishing an LLC.
Mhm.
So I'm going to, that's my
Nice.
goal in the next 30 days.
All right.
Yeah.
Dana?
Similar to Jashawn, I'm going to do my trademark for my name and also the LLC filing. Yeah.
Misty?
I want to get a tax accountant.
All right. Baina? Randy?
In the next 30 days, my goal is to start preparing for the ASWB exam. So as soon as graduation hits, I can just go and take the exam.
Okay, so you're looking to study. Nice, nice. And that will give you what? Well, after you take the exam, what will you have?
My life, clinical license.
LCSW?
LCSW,
Okay,
yep.
great, awesome, great. All right, how did that feel to share those goals?
It helped. Well, for me, it was like, okay, I'm putting it out there. So now I got to hold myself accountable.
And when do you, I think Jashawn, are you in private practice now or are you in a group practice?
A group practice.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when are you thinking about going into your independent practice, your practice?
I would like to in July, but as I was writing out my goals, I was like, maybe that's not realistic, but I would like to in July. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, let me reframe it. And because starting it can be as simple as having just like my 1 or 2 clients in virtual, and that could be my start, and not as opposed to kind of thinking about it larger than that, which makes it seem like I have to push it back. So that's what it helped me to start thinking about, well, no, you can launch in July, but it would look like this, and it's still starting.
Right. Yeah, look at that. You're coaching yourself.
Yeah.
I think
with your help.
Yeah, no, I think that's so important because sometimes you think everything has to be done and finished and wrapped up in a bow in order to start, right?
Yeah.
And I just love that you're able to do your own self-corrections. Like, actually, starting can look like this. Like, who says starting has to look like whatever thing I imagined? So that's excellent. I'm loving that. How about for others? Misty, Dana.
I was also thinking July, but I think that's just because I'm so accustomed to the fiscal year starting in July for my current position. But I thought that would give me a good amount of time to work through, all that we've learned. And my spirit just says that would be time. And I like that reminder, Jashawn and Anisha, of the baby steps, because I think a lot of times too, I do tend to go to the big picture and think like, okay, I need to be ready to take on, I don't know, 10 or 15 clients, when in reality, I would be very happy with 1 to 2 to start.
Good. So I'm hearing July. Okay, awesome. Misty.
So I've had this practice, but this for me has all been about like formalizing things. So,
Mhm,
but I've kind of that was helpful to hear that, Jishan, too, because I've kind of gotten stuck around like just my timeline for incorporating some of these bigger ideas. But I think I can start to incorporate them um, in the next upcoming months, and then maybe have like a milestone of like the end of the summer to really start incorporating some of the bigger ideas.
mhm, mhm. Great. How about for you, Randy? Yeah, you're mute. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, what was the question again?
Just thinking about, actually I forgot what the question was. But I think like, when do you want to start, right? And
Oh,
when do you see yourself started? And again, it doesn't have, also, I think Joshana would add, like, when I started with speaking, like it didn't necessarily, for me, it didn't start with therapy, right? So
Mhm.
particularly for, I think about Anisha and Randy, you're not licensed yet, right? So that doesn't mean you can't start something. So think about
Right.
what is a start date that you're envisioning for your business?
I do have somewhat of a 2-year plan, 3-year
Mhm.
plan.
Mhm.
Anywhere within a span of 2 to 3 years, because I still need to get like supervision hours in order to maintain an independent license and then move on to the next steps.
Right. And there are things that you can also start with, whether it's speaking, consulting, that you don't need licensure for. So I just encourage you guys to think about those. What are other pieces that you can add in or start with as you build your expertise and build your name reputation out there, that it may not start with therapy.
Right. That's something, yeah, that's something I'll definitely keep in my mind. Something to work on.
Awesome. Good. How about for you, Anisha? And then Baina, she's back.
I would say starting like as far as like therapy, I'm thinking maybe like a 2 years out, but I have started speaking, and I've done a little bit of consulting. So I would say like there are things that I've been trying to do as we speak. I mean, I started a group, the She series. So I'm like, my plan is, as I start this last year of internship, is to start really putting in place some logistics like trademarking, just things that will help me as I am speaking, as I am doing. So start back on my website, professional pictures, like, so just the little pieces. So yeah, but I feel like I've started doing some of the things that I want to do. I just need to continue to, work through them and work on them.
Great. How about you, Baina? When are you thinking about your start date?
I was thinking June. I haven't really thought more about the start date. I think I've been thinking more so about kind of the logistics as well, as far as, when do I even announce to people what I've been doing? And I know May is Mental Health Month, so really trying to get those baby steps in order. Like, oh, okay, well, you need your logo, you need your photo shoot, and those things to be ready to even be able to announce the business come May. And then the professional development has kind of been like more so where I've been at, where I want to place myself in rooms of other people who's been doing this in a grander scale. Because I think I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in. and just trying to make sure it makes sense, because I don't want to go into a route of, oh, I want to do this, and then all of a sudden down the line I'm doing something else. So I just want to make sure when I'm like, doing these different professional development activities, I'm understanding myself more so I can walk in the confidence of actually getting everything done in order to create longevity, and then be able to launch.
Mhm. Yeah, it sounds like making sure that the things that you're taking on as professional development are going to be tied back into what your future goals are. So it's all connected.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. And I shared with you all, so we'll have a 30-day coaching session on March 26th. And so just confirm that that works for everyone. And then, I think keeping up the account, some of you have accountability circles, but I also shared with you I have a resource so I can continue to do that coaching. So I shared what that package would look like. So you can think about if that's something that would be helpful for you to keep going. And if people are interested, I'm happy to start a WhatsApp chat as well, just to help keep that accountability. Because I want to make sure that when we leave this space that people don't feel like, oh, what do I do? And I just want to add to the things that you were talking about, like Baida talking about your photo shoot and all those things. Make sure that they have a place in your organizational tool, right? That we talked about. What is your 30, 60 day, 90-day plan? Making sure that there's a place for all of those little things on there, because again, sometimes we could lose track of those. And I think, being able to check off, for me anyway, like I love being able to check things off, and it just reinforces it. It's a reward and it keeps that motivation going. So I want to make sure that you feel supported as we continue this journey. You've made so much progress, and I want to make sure that you continue. Because July is very realistic. It's very sustainable based on the work that you've done. I think Baina said June for her, right? So I think I want to be able to hold you all to being able to accomplish the goals and the time frame that you set out. All right, I'm going to do the state of personal power meditation. And so feel free to close your cameras if you want to. I will just go through this. It's probably like a 10-minute thing. I always forget how long it is. But as you go through this, you're going to hold on to the goals that you have, right, that you want to accomplish. And this is really about being able to put yourself not just into a state of mind, but into a state of being as you think about your goals and your vision moving forward from this space. So get comfortable where you're at, make sure your back is supported. Make sure you're comfortable, do some stretching out if you need to. And we really want, again, the whole idea of this is to really put you into a place of being and doing your goals, right? When we think about state of personal power, it looks like when you're in grade school or a teenager in high school, performing a sport, something that, reflecting on a time in your life where you felt confident, assured, empowered, like you got this, right? And so that is what we're going to really kind of walk you through that piece there. Hold on one second. All right. All right. So again, just relax. Make sure your back is supported, your feet are planted, and take a few breaths in through your nose and release those through the exhale through your mouth. You may want to close your eyes, shift your gaze downward, or find a point in your room that you can focus on. Remember, a state is in which you have had all your resources available to you. I want you to think about a time when you're fully in a state of excellence in your own personal power. What did that look like? Can you visualize yourself in that moment? What sounds did you hear? What voices can you hear of excitement? Really try to remember how you felt. Also think about what was going on in your body as you recall this state of excellence. So again, just taking a few breaths in and out, and just reflect into that time, a time in the past where you were standing in a place of excellence, of accomplishment, a state of personal power. So that's right, you were invincible, you were strong, you were at your peak, you are experiencing, sensing, feeling excellence. You may hear others around you applauding and cheering you on. You may hear voices saying, congratulations, you did it. Maybe you see smiling faces in a large audience before you, and you realize you are in your A game. You are on top of the world, and you feel like $1 million. In fact, you are in top shape, in top form. That's right. You're fully confident because you really know what you're doing, and your enthusiasm is off the charts. You realize that in this state of being, you can do anything. You can excel, you can pass the test, you can stay strong, you can stand tall because you are in your A game. You are at your peak. You're full of energy. You're full of power. You're full of strength. You're confident. You are enthusiastic. Now, I want you to realize how that feels in your body right now and all the sensory perception around you. You might notice that you're sitting straight in your chair. You're tall. You may even be standing tall, and you're feeling strong. Your shoulders are back and you're ready to face the world. Just bring it on. You are ready for anything. And you are aware that whatever is before you, you will experience it with ease, confidence, and strength. Embrace this feeling and visualize yourself with this feeling. How do you look when you visualize it? Notice the sounds that you hear. How do you sound? What do you feel in your body when you are in a state of personal power? I want you to hold on to this. Hold on to this vision. Hold on to this feeling. Hold on to this sensation. I want you to just hold on to it. Make it real. This is your state of personal power. You feel fantastic, on top of the world, strong, enthusiastic. You are at your peak. Now I want you to anchor it somewhere in your body. Anchor it. Maybe you tap the back of your wrist. Maybe you pinch the little skin between your forefinger and your thumb. Maybe you squeeze your index finger and your thumb together. Somehow anchor this feeling in your body. So at the touch, you can just get yourself right back to the state. Do what works for you as an anchor.
The other party. And he says he did this because he would divorce him and try to take all his money. This is the craziest divorce of all time, and people can't decide who to support.
Okay, now I want you to imagine a time in the future when you will want to activate this personal power. You're stepping out of your comfort zone into a situation that in the past may have been uncomfortable. Now I want you to imagine putting yourself into this state of personal power. Use your anchor and activate it now. That's right, activate that state of personal power. Maybe you feel yourself sitting or standing taller. Your state of personal power comes alive within you as you feel the strength, the confidence, the energy, the enthusiasm wash over your entire being. See yourself in that future situation now. Feel how strong you are now. Listen to how enthusiastic and confident you sound. Now I want you to visualize, listen, and feel in the clearest detail possible how things are different for you and around you because you have activated your state of personal power. Notice how you feel. Notice what you see. As you listen, what do you hear? Take a look around you. How are people responding to you now that you are in your state of personal power? Wonderful. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and become aware of your present environment, right? I want you to notice how different you feel right now, having just stepped into your personal power. This is an amazing process. This is activating your personal power and then walking into a situation where you know that you need to be at your personal best. I want you to remember that you can do this at any time. You can activate the state of personal power by touching your anchor. And you can face anything that you might have to go through that would normally cause you stress. Anything that in the past would have made you feel nervous. Now you can breeze through it. Activate this state of personal power, and you'll be able to walk in and easily and naturally handle whatever comes your way with the utmost confidence, the utmost sincerity, authenticity, and the utmost enthusiasm. You'll realize that you have just accomplished something that you know in the past might have been difficult for you. And now you can naturally walk through with ease and confidence. And when you're on the other side of the situation, you're going to feel the best that you've ever felt. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 because you've activated your state of personal power. Now I want you to again to focus on your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Becoming aware of your surroundings, what you're sitting on. And when you're ready, you can come back to the room with soft eyes. So in the last time that we have, I invite you to share what it felt like. Maybe there's a word or phrase that came up for you or the anchor that you used. How did it feel to go through this meditation exercise? What are you thinking about as you think about the goals that you've set about starting your practices? How is this helping you to be able to stand in that power, that state of personal power, and know that all the things you wrote down that you will accomplish? What came up for you during this meditation?
A lot came up. I'm trying to keep it short. Um, I think for me, like towards the end of the meditation, I had like this song kind of playing over and over in my head, but it was a song of like, basically my one of my anthems, like my I got this.
Mm,
So I felt like, I have all the tools that I need. Like I can do this. It's almost like trusting myself and affirming, like
mhm,
you can do this. But the interesting thing, a part of the process when you were like recalled event where you felt like it was almost like a moving picture, if you will, because I
mhm.
couldn't just kind of identify just one.
One
It was
thing.
just like these different. And so when I was trying to anchor and kind of feel like, how did I feel in this moment? It was like a accumulation of like all of these different events. Um,
Mm,
and it was so interesting because I felt like this release almost. So my
mhm,
body had an emotional response as well. And the fact
mhm,
that number one, I could not, like, it was almost like this, I couldn't find just like one, because every time I found one, it was almost like I could hear a voice of negativity. So I was like, well, wait a minute, where was I at my best? But then I could hear like but it was like the but, like it was this peak but. And I was like, that's just
mhm,
the pattern. So that was like the emotional response.
mhm,
Um, and then when I was able finally to allow myself to rest in the good,
mhm,
and silence the negative, then I was able to kind of, the anthem started playing in my head.
mhm.
So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I think you, whatever song that is, put that on your playlist, like wake up to that, go to bed with that, right? In those moments, like just have that playing around you.
I
Thank you so
will.
much for sharing that. That was really, really helpful to hear, and for you to even talk about that process of trying to hold on to those personal moments of success and excellence, and that naysayer kind of trying to get in, and then you're able to find a way to like silence it, right? And I think going through this process, there will be times where that naysayer, that critic comes up, or that doubt, that self-doubt. And so what are you going to do to quiet and silence that, right? To so that you keep going. So important. How about for others?
For me, I sort of had a similar experience where I was like scanning my history and thinking of those different moments. And then I had a thought of like, there were many times where my best was also like a mess. Like it wasn't perfect, but somehow there was something that was very special and transformative whenever those moments happened. So I felt very reassured um, in moving forward, like with this particular journey, in knowing that it may not look or sort of
Mm,
be the way that I want it to be ideally, but that it will bear fruit. Like it will be,
mhm.
it will
It
be,
will happen. Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect, this pretty picture that we sometimes paint, right? Like, but it will get done. It will happen. Love that. Others? Anyone else before we wrap up?
For me, the word possible came to my mind, and I agree with the whole like not trying to be perfectionistic about it, because I don't have like a fully formed idea about how this is gonna go, but I do feel like it's possible.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's possible. It is. And I definitely want you to hold on to that, that you have all the tools within you, and you have all the tools. Did we lose some? We lost Anisha? We have all the tools within you, and then we have all the tools. So you have access to all these recordings and resources for the next year. And you have access to me, right? So don't, don't, you're feeling stuck and lost and spiraling, reach out, please reach out, okay? I know we don't have time to do this, but I want you to really kind of hold on to the practice of setting weekly goals. So that helps you just kind of stay on track with the things that you're doing. I mentioned the coaching. So yes, so I think what I'll do, I'll check in with you guys in a couple weeks and kind of see what you want to be the focus. These are some tasks that I've had people do in the past, but I also want to make sure that the assignments feel relevant for you and kind of where you're at. So everyone may have a different thing, right, that you're going to be working on for March. So I'll check back in with you around that. But it has been wonderful to work with you and to see the confidence and the clarity that's come up from your goals, and even being able to name like when you plan to start your businesses and feeling confident in that. So I have seen so much growth, and it has been wonderful working with you. And I know this is not the end, but I'm excited to see like what the next 30 days will bring. But again, feel free to reach out to me either through email or through our classroom. I have lots of resources in there. I included a video I did last year. I think, Deshaun, you probably came to that one. There were two colleagues who I interviewed who had made the leap from, they were both in group practices to their full-time private practice. And they just talked a lot about their journey. I asked questions about that journey. So I encourage you to take a look at that. There's something I found out from Oprah recently that I'll put that in the classroom. But just, I love the word that you use. This is very possible, right? And some of you have started in small ways, and this is really about growing. Like, you all have the expertise, you all have the knowledge, and it's just putting those tools into practice. So as I had on the thing, you got this. I had my little cheetah, right? You got this. So, and you don't have to do it alone. All right. Any questions or things? And you can hang out for 10 minutes or so if people have any questions or anything that you want to navigate. But that's what I have for today.
I just want to say thank you. I'll put it in the chat, but this has been great, very helpful.
Awesome. And I see people put their numbers, so I'll start that WhatsApp thing. All right, we got it. Cool. Great. I'm glad that it's felt helpful, and really my goal is to make sure that this is approachable and that you can do this and feel confident and comfortable doing this. Awesome. So, and Misty, I don't know if you have, I think usually if you have a minute, I can, and Brian, if you want, I can talk to you a little bit more about the opportunity that I mentioned. So,
Yes.
all right. And good luck, Randy, with studying. Because you graduate in May, right?
May, yep.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let us know so we can send some good vibes for your graduation day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.
All right, take care.
Later.
Bye, everyone.